Hey, my name is Ross Campbell, welcome to my channel. This is the 2019 Ernie Ball Music Man Majesty. This is one of John Petrucci's two signature models with the company, the other being the JP, which has been around for quite some time now. Now, I'm not being paid to make this video, let's get that out of the way first. I am endorsed by Ernie Ball and I have a good working relationship with the UK team, so they got in touch with me and simply asked, would you be up for potentially making a demo of the new 2019 Majesty? And me being someone who definitely is not opposed to having beautiful, expensive guitars delivered right to my doorstep, I obviously said, yeah, okay, I can do that. But I will admit, at first, I was a bit apprehensive about taking on this demo because anything John Petrucci related, you know, it has connotations of shred and metal, which are two things that I haven't really had much interest in playing wise for a number of years now. I grew up listening to and playing a lot of metal when I was a teenager, but I eventually moved on to other genres and decided that's not the type of player that I want to be. But interestingly enough, after I spent a couple of hours noodling around on this beautiful instrument, which is obviously crafted to facilitate metal and shredding in general, I did start to feel that side of my playing come out again. That's something that I personally find really fascinating about the different types of guitars there are out there, because each type of guitar, whether it's a Strat, a Tele, a Les Paul, or a shred machine like this, they all bring out different shades of your playing, and some even dive really deep into your musical history, like this Music Man Majesty is doing. To me, it's bringing out that metal side of my playing, which I haven't really been interested in for years. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys and read through every single spec of this guitar, because let's face it, if you're someone watching this who is seriously considering spending your hard-earned money on a guitar like this, on a premium guitar that is not cheap, you're going to look up the specs yourself. You're going to look up the specs on the Music Man website, which I have conveniently linked in the description box below. Instead, I just want to talk about the things that really impressed me about this guitar, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it in general from my own perspective as someone who is not necessarily the type of player that they'll be targeting with this guitar. The first thing I noticed about this guitar is the way it feels. I'm talking about the weight, the finish, the balance when you have it in your lap. It feels like a luxury instrument. That might be a strange thing to say, but I don't know how else to explain it. It's like the guitar equivalent of a Bugatti. Not that I know anything about supercars, but it's just the way that the finish looks, how smooth the ebony fretboard feels, the upper fret access, the way the knobs are designed so that they have these little rubber rings going around them that make them really easy to grip. The movement of the tremolo system, the toggle switches and where they're positioned, they all just give off this luxury vibe, and they immediately tell you that this instrument is designed to facilitate fast, precise, and technical playing. It just stays out of your way and it doesn't fight back. I mean, the three-way toggle switch for the DiMarzio pickups is just so perfectly located, and the switch is just the right size. If you try one of these guitars out in a shop, you'll probably notice how easy and fast it is to switch pickups even when you're playing. You seriously can just change your pickups in a flash and keep playing at the same time. And speaking of pickups and switches, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how versatile the switching system is on this guitar. You've obviously got two humbuckers, which are DiMarzio's, those are John's signature set, designed specifically for this 2019 Majesty. And you can control them with the three-way toggle switch that's right next to the pots. But there's also a piezo pickup in the bridge, which for those of you that might not know, is a pickup that allows you to get acoustic-like tones when you're playing on a clean setting. So that's what the three-way toggle switch is for on the upper horn of the guitar. You've got two three-way toggle switches, one that's right next to the pots, that's for controlling the magnetic pickups, which are the DiMarzios, and then another three-way toggle switch on the upper horn of the guitar. And that controls whether you're using the DiMarzios alone, a blend of the DiMarzios and the piezo, or just the piezo by itself. That's already a ton of options, but they've taken it even further than that. The volume and tone knobs for the DiMarzio pickups are both push-push switches. So when you push in the volume pot, you can get up to 20 dB of gain boost, which is obviously great for when you're going for a solo. And when you push in the tone pot, you activate the inner coils in each humbucker. But this is only noticeable when you're in the middle position. So it's not a coil split for the bridge and neck pickups, but it's just another option for when you're in that middle position and you're using both humbuckers. So without it engaged, as you would expect, you get the neck humbucker and the bridge humbucker on full together, but when you activate the push-push switch on the tone pot, you now are only getting the inner coil from the neck humbucker and the inner coil from the bridge humbucker. And on the back of the guitar, you can adjust things like the tone of the piezo pickup, the blend of the magnetic and piezo pickups, and the amount of boost you get from the push-push switch on the volume pot, which is up to 20 decibels. Now, the only thing that took me a bit of getting used to with this guitar was the fretboard radius. At 17 inches, it's very, very flat, which is great for metal and shred and all that good stuff, but it's not at all what I am used to. I'm used to playing Strats and Tellies, which typically have, 9.5 inch radiuses. Radii? So what that meant for me was that when I first started playing this guitar, I noticed that my bending intonation was way off. And that's not a complaint or a fault with the guitar in any way. It's just something that caught me off guard initially, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to adjust my playing and get used to this really flat fingerboard radius. So again, not a complaint or anything like that. It's just something that I noticed as someone who is used to playing guitars like Strats, Tellies, and Les Pauls. It's also worth noting that you should use some sort of lubricant in the nut slots and on the bridge saddles to maximize tuning stability with this guitar, especially if you're someone who likes to use the tremolo a lot. It's obviously not a locking trem system like a Floyd Rose, so you can't expect perfect tuning stability with non-locking systems, but with the use of products like Big Ben's nut sauce, which is what I've used on this guitar, it really does stay in tune quite well, even for a non-locking system. So here's a quick run through of some of the tones that you can get with the Music Man Majesty. I've tuned the guitar to drop C, and it's strung up with the new Burley Slinkies from Ernie Ball, which are like 11s, but the bottom 3 strings are a little bit heavier than what you would typically get with a set of 11 gauge strings. So I personally find that they're a great fit for drop tunings in particular. Anyway, here's what the 2019 Music Man Majesty sounds like. So there you have it. That's the 2019 Majesty from Music Man and John Petrucci. I'm going to be sad to see this one go, but I'm super grateful to the UK team at Ernie Ball for lending me this guitar. Cheers, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, please hit the like button down below, share it with your guitar playing friends, and click subscribe for more. I will see you in the next one.